Now, do you psych yourself out to get into George psyching?
Well, just to get ready for the Beatles shows, yeah. I try to watch a lot of the footage.
Oh, okay, so you really do.
And I listen to, most of the shows are 2 hours away for me to get to drive to.
Okay.
So I listen to the Beatles all the way there.
So it's like you're cramming for a final.
Well, yeah, you have to keep there's so many things, and you don't realize because you are your own individual that the songs drift and the parts drift, and you play them the way you want to play them.
Right.
You have to play them sometimes with a little bit more aggressiveness, or you have to play a little bit at a time here or there, or push the time there, and you can't just play it the way you want to play it. The four of us do our individual homework with the records, and then we come together and put the four parts together. Yeah. And everybody's always amazed that we don't rehearse a ton. Yeah. We rehearse maybe 5 times before the beginning of a 22-show tour, but we've done all, hundreds of hours individually.
Oh, okay. And so there's a lot of work.
Ton of work.
Yeah.
Ton of work.
And if
you didn't love it, there'd be no reason to do it.
And the credit to you guys is that I'm guessing that you guys make it a little bit easy on stage, but that's because there's so much work into it, and anything that looks spontaneous on stage is actually might be spontaneous, but there's a lot of decision behind it.
Well, you want to get it into your muscle memory, so that, your ears heard it for 30 years, but it doesn't necessarily mean you know where it is and how to do it right when you need to do it. It's like, hop up, fly. I got it. I ain't got it. And that window of time goes by, and you're like, shit, and everybody and his brother knows what lick's supposed to be there, and you go, like the Olympics, when you get it, they're like playing air guitar with you, and they're going, yay! You're like, you hit that famous lick. You did the right drum solo.
When it comes to the Beatles, there's no room for failure.
No.
You can't get it wrong because it will stick out.
Oh, yeah, it does. It often does.
Wow.
And there was times where we've played for so many thousands of people, like at Prescott Park in Portsmouth, which will be back again this year. There were 7,000 people there a few years ago when we played. And I remember I felt like almost smoke was coming out of my ears. It was like we were doing All My Lovin', which is a really fast triplet guitar part tune anyway, because I'm playing all the lead guitar and fancy guitar work, whether Paul played it, George played it, or John played it. So, if you're influenced as a guitar player from the Beatles, you're influenced by 3 guitarists. And I'm playing all the detailed parts. So I'm playing the John triplets, and I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, this tune's going by. Am I with the drummer? Where is the band? This is so exciting. I can't believe how many people are here. Oh my God, I'm in the right place. I should really get back into my body, and figure out where we are. Thank God my hands know this song, because I'm just like, I was just like so excited. I'm looking around going, who's really here? Who did they come to see? Because there weren't even any fireworks that night. I thought, Paul landed or something. Paul's in town. He's on the grass, on the rock over there. I'm going to go see the real guy.
Now, okay, so...
You're like, oh yeah, I can't wait to hear this back. And sift through what I really need.
No, you're doing great. Thank you for being so open. Hopefully this interview's going well.
Talking about my favorite subject, Hucker.
No, this is one of my favorites. That's why I made a big deal of let's do it as soon as we can.
That's awesome.
That way it doesn't get lost on the desk, and 4 months from now I'm like, oh, Lauren, you want to do something? So obviously, I don't even have to ask this question.
These are great questions.
Well, thank you. I'll ask this question more as a statement than a question. George's persona is more than singing and strumming.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of lead playing and listening and his dry humor on stage is hilarious.
Now, do you do the dry humor?
Yeah. We're all very funny, but I think it's because we've been so influenced by, like you said, the 4 Marx Brothers. So Tom's got the hardest job, the guy in the middle. He's Paul John, or John Paul we call him, because he sings John, but he plays Paul bass. But he also gets the audience all psyched up. How you doing? And, the Beatles didn't really have to do that. People were more psyched than they needed to calm them down.
Oh, yeah.
But if he says something silly, I'll go right on the mic in a real dry voice and go, dry humor, and say, that wasn't even funny. Like one year at Prescott Park, he's like, look at all the dancers over there. Come on, dancers, make noise. And they weren't making noise. He wanted them to scream. And I said, dancers don't make noise on grass. They make noise on tile or wood, And people just lost it. You know, they just thought that was so funny, but you never know what you're going to say. But I like to be like you've got the paw pull, like don't encourage him, you know. So I'm always like, you've said that at the last show, you know, it doesn't work, you know. And people just crack up laughing. And he's such a sweet guy. He doesn't even mind me sort of
just in a
little bit, you know. And he's like, you know, you got my role that I used to be in my last band. I was like the wisecracker. I didn't even really sort of evolve that way. And our Ringo is just such a charmer. He actually sounds like Ringo, drumming and voice. And he's, hey George, how are you? You know, and he's all bumbling, you know, very happy and la la la, you know. And he's always, take it George, you know, when there's a solo and stuff like that. It's just so much fun. So he's always telling me different lines, like, you know, in the 5th disc where Ringo's telling that story about how he busted his car. I tried to overtake that car. And then just then, the car in front, dog ran out. The guy slammed on his brakes. I slammed into him, broke the fuck out of my car, you know. And George is like, did I stop? He's like, no, you just kept on going, you know. So Ringo will always say some line from anything he's just recently seen, and we just continue it, you know. Broke the fuck out of my car. You know? Can't print that. It's just so funny. Because he gets into it in a very playful way, the way I do, with listening to all.
So this is a lot of fun for you guys.
It's a blast.
I mean, it's work, but it's fun.
Well, yeah, the work is schlepping the stuff and driving all these hours, and you know, sometimes
putting all the time into it.
Miles of like from the parking lot to the, you know, the gazebo across the footbridge over the lake, you know, and you're going. Well, the worst one was on well, it wasn't the worst. It was a really terrible load-in. It was a fun show, but it was hard to stand up on the Scotia Prince. We were on the boat from Portland, Maine to Nova Scotia. We had to sleep over, you know, and the microphone's like this. If I was on Dramamine, I would have been sick as a dog, you know. It was just terrible. Couldn't even stand up. You're right on the ocean. It was just...
That was a really...
And then we try to sleep at night. I don't think so. You got to come to one of the shows. You'd have a blast. You've got to have some Beatle friends.
I will.
Around.
I will. I hope.
You got the schedule on the website.
I didn't check it, but I know there is a schedule on it.
You said you can't come Sunday because you're doing a show on Saturday.
Well, I'm doing, well, Sunday's going to be crazy. Got to see Clapton, and then I got to, well, what time's your show Sunday? I'm gathering it's an afternoon show.
No, evening.
Oh, really?
It's right before the fireworks. 7 to 9:30 or 6 to 9:30, something like that. We'll have to check.
It's in Acton?
Narrow Park. Where's Acton?
Yeah.
It's on the way to Boston.
Oh, okay.
It's a half hour on Route 2.
Okay.
Route 2 East to Route 27 to Quarry Road. Narrow Park, there's a giant amphitheater. It's an awesome stage in this field, giant park of like nothing. Giant hill. There'll be thousands of people there. There'll be fireworks afterwards.
I don't like people.
I don't either. I only like crowds when I'm on stage.
Can you make it so only 4 people show up?
Yeah. You could come to one of the less...
Yeah.
Well, you could hang out with us. You don't have to be in the crowd. Yeah. Introduce you to the lads.
You can introduce me as Brian.
Brian. It's Beatle Craig.
Now, in your wildest dreams, did you ever think you would become a Beatle?
No.
No.
I know, I was real...
I mean...
Yeah,
I don't doubt that answer.
Yeah.
I mean, you...
No. I mean, everybody would love to have joined the band, probably, you know, been friends with them and stuff. But I didn't even think of this as a possibility.
Yeah.
Cindy Brown, my partner in the band, was saying, check out the papers. There's got to be other people to play with around, not just
Now, what paper
Berkeley
did you
people.
see this?
Northeast Performer Magazine.
Okay. Not familiar with that, but that must be...
That's a music magazine with tips on, you know, all the indie things you can do as an independent.
And it was an ad, We Need a George? Or?
Yeah, in the back it was bands forming or members needed, and it was something like established Beatles tribute band seeks lead guitarist, vocals a must. You know, whole summer tour, ready to go, George Harrison, where are you?
Really?
And there were 2 different phone numbers, and I got overclamped when I read it, you know. I was just, oh my God, I got a call. And because I had been to a lot of those Beatle conventions, you know, Beatle fests and stuff, and it's fun. I used to get up and do the sound-alikes.
Oh, did you really?
You know, and start Here Comes the Sun and watch people go, wah, you know.
Yeah, do they ever give you a hassle because you're a woman?
No, no.
Really?
But the guys with their voices, just because of the tone of the guy's voice, would always beat me out vocally.
Right.
You know, but playing-wise, I can play circles around.
Right. Obviously, you're a great guitarist. But you want to be teaching at Berkeley.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fun place.
Yeah.